What's going on, people? We are back at it again. Catechism Tuesdays, week 24. I am John. This is
Ramon.
All right, let's get right into our question. Why was it necessary for Christ the Redeemer to die? The answer: since death is the punishment for sin, Christ died willingly in our place to deliver us from the power and penalty of sin and bring us back to God. By his substitutionary atoning death, he alone redeems us from hell and gains for us forgiveness of sin, righteousness, and everlasting life. A lot of stuff packed into that paragraph, Pastor V. Talk to us a little bit about the tenets of that.
Yeah, so if we're going to break it down, the question is, why was it necessary for Christ to redeem us? And why was it necessary for Christ to die? And the answer is to redeem us. And we could list, to redeem us is so packed full of all the things that God did, that Jesus did.
Yeah.
The redemption brought a lot to us. And so a couple of things that worth noting is it brought substitution. It was a substitutionary atoning death. To redeem us required that. It required forgiveness of sins. In redeeming us, our sins completely cleared. We were released from hell. Christ's righteousness was given to us. His perfect righteousness was put on us. And we now have everlasting life. We have been brought near to God and will forever live with God. So when we say redemption, all that is packed in there. We don't have time to talk about each of them, but let's talk about some of them. Substitutionary atoning death. Yeah. That's part of redemption. What does that mean?
Yeah, substitutionary atoning death. Very complex word, but basically it just means that we need a substitute to die in our place. So if we think about the cross of Jesus Christ, what he got on the cross, what he, through pain and suffering and the shedding of blood, Hebrews actually says, without the shedding of blood, there is no forgiveness of sin.
Separated from God.
Separation from God. So all of that we deserve because of our sin. Christ is the substitute dying in our place. And that's a perfect and beautiful act of the biblical love, sacrifice.
Yeah.
So substitutionary atoning death is Christ being in the place of us, taking on the full wrath that we deserve.
Yeah, Christ's willing to do it.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do it, and yet he chooses to do it. And that's the kind of love he has for us.
Absolutely. Another thing, too, about this jam-packed understanding of redemption, or what it means to be redeemed. Talk to us a little bit about righteousness and everlasting life.
It's amazing to think about that so many people living their lives asking, am I good enough? Right? Am I good enough for my parents? Am I good enough for my job? Have I done enough good things? Am I a good person? Christ redeeming us, what was necessary for him to redeem us, is that those questions, not questions we have to struggle with. Really, the question is Jesus good enough? And because he's good enough, his righteousness is put on us. When God looks at us, he sees Jesus. It doesn't mean we don't have obligations to live in holiness and all these other things, right? But it means that, functionally speaking, that when God looks at us, Christ's righteousness has been given to us. And what a release that is, to know that that's what God sees when he looks at us. And because of that, because we've been made righteous, you might say Jesus has created space at the family table for us, at God's family table, and says, and really what he's done, he says, take my place.
Yeah.
Jesus sort of moves to the side and says, hey, you get to sit here. To all those who believe in him. That's everlasting life, that we get to be in the place of Jesus, invited into his space, invited into God, forever life with God. That's what you were meant for as a human being. That's what we were meant for, to have that type of life, to have that kind of connection. God forgive us for suggesting that the Christian faith is anything less than that. It is about full life with God through Jesus Christ.
That's good, man. That's a good word. Well, there you have it, folks. Catechism Tuesdays. I am John. This is Pastor V. We are out. Love God. Love people. Peace.